that says an awesome start to an awesome week. And with that, we are ready to throw it back over to you guys for Contra low percent 2-player. Good luck.
All right. I'm angrylanks. I'm going to be doing this run with RottDawg here. We're going to be grabbing no power-ups, so it's going to be pretty interesting. On the couch, we got metroidmcfly. You just saw Murder 2 Games live stream. We got FCJ. He's going to be coming right after us with some Contra 3, so stick around. We got superpitfro, who just did that Jackal run. And we got slurpeeninja. He's a Mega Man master and all-around good dude.
Thanks.
All right, so countdown's going to be a little weird. I'll try to do a 3, 2, 1, go, but it's when we gain control of character. 3, 2, 1, go.
Oh.
Oops, I paused.
Nice. Great way to start the run, guys.
That was
perfect. That was just for swag. But anyway, so it's a little interesting on 2 players, the way the screen scrolls. You'll notice our characters are way up to the front. And what we have to do here is just kind of be careful to watch each other's backs. That's why Rott is shooting up at an angle. He's going to try to take out any potential trolls that just might pop up in my face and shoot me.
Yeah, and this is a low percent run, so what that means is, no weapon upgrades.
Can we just, you just want to reset, or do you just want to kill yourself?
Well, and just as I say that, he accidentally picked one up, so I don't know.
All right, so we accidentally grabbed an F, so just pretend that didn't happen.
Okay, yeah, we'll just pretend that didn't happen.
We'll just forget that happened.
Yeah, that does happen, man. It's pretty easy. Actually, you'd be surprised how often that could happen.
But bullets sometimes graze those power-ups.
Yeah, exactly. And like Lanks said in the interview they did earlier, this game is known for its trolls, and so just trying to pretty much put bullets wherever they can as they're progressing the screen. That way, just in case any enemy just randomly appears, they'll take care of it. And that's stage 1.
Interesting start. So the base stage is, normally with the spread gun, you have to get this spread rhythm, and we don't have to worry about that, which is really nice. So we just have to kind of use some buffer strats to pay attention to when these targets are going to open and try to kill them as fast as possible. I believe they call them sensors in the manual if you care about that sort of thing.
Yeah, and all these things take 8 shots, so what they're trying to do is just double up on those, get 4 each, take them out real fast. It's very similar to, when you see the regular run of this with the spread gun, you try to get that stream going, but here with the regular just pea shooter, you pretty much just get those 4 shots. It actually can work out really well for the bases, honestly.
And you see we can just split up and kind of take on different targets, which is really nice. We got to do a pretty specific setup here.
Oh, nice. Dude, I like that. That's one of the really cool things about low percent, in my opinion, is you get to see like really cool boss strats trying to kind of, how they kind of crossed over and just kind of using that teamwork. Whereas in, the regular run, you see spread just melt things so quickly.
Absolutely. And here in this hill climb, you really have to be careful not to get ahead of each other, or you'll if one character can kill the other one.
Yeah, exactly. So. It's kind of like Infamous here, where like the moment you miss one jump, you're gonna get left behind, and the other dude's probably just gonna let you die. But,
we got a really interesting.
He picked up the barrier too there.
Troll on the bridge, and I accidentally grabbed that barrier, and the's no way I can really.
Yeah, you can't really die to get rid of that one.
Stop that from happening. So we're just breaking all the rules here, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Well, the barrier isn't like an attack weapon.
Well, you didn't get shot anyway, so it's like,
Yeah,
wouldn't have mattered.
I stayed as true to it as I could. All right, we're going to have to wait.
Yeah, coming up to the boss up here, they're going to try to basically separate out and take out both arms. And then group up in the middle and try to kill this thing as fast as possible. Ooh, almost.
So tough to get the 1 cycle.
Yeah, that boss is intricate pattern there. So 3 fireballs. Excellent dodge there.
Yeah, so coming up into another base here, just as before, same type of concept here. This one's got more sensors in this one, so like in this room especially, a lot of work to do.
But still the 8 shots apply, so...
Yeah, I find this room to actually be one of the trickier ones to play. I remember when me and TMR were doing this run, that one can be really tricky with the dude crossing over.
Yeah, it's so easy to lose spread here when you're playing with weapons, but in low percent, you don't have to worry about that as much.
Yeah, so far so good.
So we have to use a lot of the enemies and rollers as kind of buffers to gauge when these sensors are going to open to try to do it optimally. It's a little tricky, so sometimes we don't pull it off. And also sometimes the bullet damage doesn't come out properly. You'll notice we're both mashing the same target, and sometimes it won't die in like one volley of bullets. It'll take two like that. And there's just some kind of weird damage glitch going on where it can't like prioritize or something.
All right, so coming up on this boss here, there's actually a glitch you can do. They're going to go for if you hit the heads as they're separating on that frame that they separate, you can actually end up getting a little glitch kill there. They missed it on that one, but we'll see if didn't get on that one either. But still, not a bad boss kill. Until that part. I'm just kidding. No, it's still good. Still good. Hey, neither of you died, and it's good, man. It's all good.
All right.
No, I did
The
fix
boss,
it, though.
the
That's
boss
my
died,
bad.
and that's the one that matters.
Yeah,
So.
I'll take all the blame for that one. That was on me.
Yeah, you should. It's
Yeah.
fine. We didn't do anything wrong.
No. So Snowfield, I think, at least in my opinion, this is the first level I think about when you think about trolls in this game. They really need to do exactly what they're doing here, just keeping all the bullets on screen. This stage can really mess you up if some dude just decides to show up right at the edge of the screen.
If this game wants you dead, this is when it's going to do it.
Yeah, exactly.
And not much you can do about it once it decides.
Yeah, all these jumps they've got to make if a guy just appears there. There's also tanks that are coming up here, and so they're not going to be able to pick any of this stuff up. The tanks are pretty easy to take out with spread, but obviously since they don't have that, they've got to put their mashing skills to work. So.
Yeah.
No.
Oh, no.
See, he showed up right there.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what we were talking about, yeah.
Game wanted it.
This is getting ugly.
So, yeah, Red did game over, but you can share the life. So now they're both on their last life. It's time to...
Oh, he's got.
Oh, nice. Okay.
They're on their last life, but it's their best life.
Yeah.
We were really, really hoping to not game over. That was like our goal, and I'm a little worried now, but hopefully we can pull this
Nah,
off.
man, I believe in you guys. You got this. So he does a nice little trick there to jump over towards the tank and then come back. That just is a nice little way to get the tank to stop faster. Saves a little bit of time.
There's supposed to be this really nice visual cue there to jump over that turret guy, but it doesn't work on two players. It's really odd. There's supposed to be two lines on the floor, and it turns into just one. So you have to count the lines. And this boss can spawn in one of three places. We hope that it will appear on the right. We'll see what happens. Hey, we
There it is. Good.
Oh, very good.
Nice.
All right. Energy zone is where it gets really rough. So
Yeah.
We'll see how this goes.
So Energy Zone has a bunch of flames after they get through this first part here. And in co-op, it can be really tricky. I'm not exactly sure if they're going to use the pause strat here, if they're just going to go for it. We'll find out. But you just basically want to try to not, well, they both just need to perform it well, basically, is what they need to. But nice sync up right here. So they'll be able to do this together.
Nice.
Here's this. Okay, nice pause. So what that does is that flame was about to come out and hit him, and so it was a good call on that pause. Basically, if you do that, it interrupts that pattern to where once you unpause, that flame won't actually go, and then they can just drop down. But yeah, that was played really well. Those patterns can be really random, so especially the initial one, the very first one you see can catch you off guard. So coming up on JJ here, big old JJ.
Yeah.
Oh, unfortunately, it takes both of them out. So it's all up to Rott here.
There we
He
go.
got the extra life though, so yeah. you're gonna be able to
I'll
get-
jump in right here.
Ready to be stolen.
Just keeping everybody on the edge of their seat. That's all.
Yeah.
Yeah. So coming in the hangar here, this is you got all these little claws. That's a nice pattern right there. They can walk right on through. They just want to make sure that they don't hit any of those. Unfortunately,
game over.
Rott did.
We're just going to start over.
Yeah, that's a good idea. I like it.
That was the practice clause.
Yeah, exactly. Just showing what happens if you do happen to touch one. Yeah.
All right, so this is a pattern we're actually more comfortable with anyway, so this will be fine now.
Yep.
We're not going to get killed here.
You always have to be careful with clouds because they're dangerous.
That's a fair point.
So these spike walls, I mean, you don't want to touch them, just take them out like they're doing. There's a lot of lag in this stage, so you're going to see, especially as they progress in this part here. Yeah.
There was nothing we could do about that guy, unfortunately.
That's the trolls, man. That's what Contra's all about.
So we'll hesitate at this first claw. There we go.
Okay, yep, nice. So yeah, here they just want to make sure they're taking out all these guys here. Go ahead and shoot the top guy. And then take out that card on the bottom. That's going to reduce a lot of lag in the stage. I always hate these guys here at the end.
They shoot much faster than the previous turrets.
What a jerk.
I was a jerk.
We call this Heartbreak Alley because it's right at the end of the run.
Yeah.
They always come out right then.
Yeah, and just a quick note about this category too. This is a really cool category that we've been kind of doing at the GDQs. At the last one, AGDQ, these guys actually picked up the record in this category with a 10:17, which is a really, really great time. Definitely recommend checking out that run if you want to see it played as good as it gets.
Yeah, TMR and McFly actually had the record before we snagged it. They had a 10:22, which is also a stellar time. So this last stage is pretty free as long as we just pay attention and kill all these spores. Everything always happens the same way as long as your movement is just constant. So we're really trying to make sure we do that.
I don't even know what to say right here.
We just want to take everything out.
That bottom one especially right before the heart.
It's the Red Falcon.
And there it is.
And time is when we lose control. Time.
Right there.
So 11:25. Really not the best showcase in the category. We grabbed 2 power-ups. Basically, the run was void. We game overed. You know, it was a good time, though. Really appreciate everybody watching. Thanks a lot. And I had a lot of fun regardless.
Yeah, you guys rolled with it nice, man.
Yeah.
It was good stuff.
So thanks for humoring us.
All right. Oh, sorry, the Vile Red Falcon.
Well, thank you to angrylanks and RottDawg for that amazing Contra low percent sort of run. If you haven't had your Contra fix yet, stay tuned. We've got Contra 3, the Alien Wars, run by FCJ2000. That's coming up in just a bit. We've also got Alien Soldier and Ranger X still to come. You want to stick around for those. We're going to take a quick ad break, and then we'll be back. Just wanted to take a second to tell you about some awesome prizes that opened up a little bit earlier this morning with the Metroid Any Percent run that metroidmcfly did. We had the classic NES wood-burn coasters. Also, you see that Choose Your Weapon cross-stitch there. That's incredible cross-stitch. There's also Hollow Knight Crystal Heart. That opened up. A $5 donation can get you in for that, as well as a Fast Travel Stag from Hollow Knight. And also, one of my favorite prizes to see at a GDQ, This Be Book Bad Translation, video games. That, of course, was donated by Legends of Localization, and a $5 donation will get you in for that. Now, all those prizes that I just mentioned are going to be open through the Prey All Main Quests run, but you want to get your donations in now for those awesome prizes. Also, a number of bid wars that you can put your donations toward if you want to influence the result. Half Minute Hero, the hero name, is up for bids. Baguette is currently in the lead with $555. Lunk hanging in there with $90, and then Bruno has $25. Also, Castlevania Portrait of Ruin. You can pick the language and I'll play the game in. Japanese with $215 has the lead. English is at $70. That's coming up a little bit later this afternoon. And then, of course, you can pick the ending choice for Prey. I almost don't want to say these. I don't want to spoil the end of Prey for you, but you can pick the self-destruct or the null wave ending. And right now, the self-destruct ending is in the lead. We've had a few donations coming in that they don't really have any comment, but hey, we appreciate the donations all the same. We have a $25 anonymous donation, as well as a $20 donation from Alex134, and a $25 donation from Wingley. Well, thank you all very much for the donations. There are also some challenges that we're looking to meet to help spice things up a little bit. When it comes to Ranger X, well, that run's coming up here in just a few. It's set to be run by Dagron on the easy difficulty, but with your donations, we're still a little ways short. We could upgrade that to heavy difficulty, make their morning a little bit more difficult. I think we can get there. And of course, giving a shout out to the Yeti, GDQ's official shirt sponsor, providing tees and other merch for nearly 8 years. They've donated more than $1 million toward GDQ's partnered charities. You can go to theyeti.com to check out the SGDQ collection.
Hey, I'm OmniGamer, and I wrote my new book Speedrun Science to help newcomers and veterans alike through the full process of investigating, routing, and performing speedruns. I also introduce speedrunning's rich history, how its rules evolved, and a whole lot more. Order now at fangamer.com.
If we lived forever, maybe we'd have time to understand things. But as it is, I think the best we can do is try to open our eyes. And appreciate how strange and brief all of this is. That any of us ever had a chance to be here at all. This is where your story begins. Maybe it sounds like I had a plan, but I had no idea where all this was gonna lead.
How many years have I waited for the warrior of light?
And the SGDQ official game store at sgdq.chrono.gg is part of Chrono Creator Stores, where content creators can build their own game store featuring the games they love and play. You can learn more at creatorstores.chrono.gg. You can contribute to Doctors Without Borders by purchasing a discounted game in the SGDQ official game store. All purchases on the SGDQ official game store contribute to Doctors Without Borders donation goal. So go to sgdq.chrono.gg and grab a deeply discounted game for charity. With that, we're going to go to SpikeVegeta and Dagron doing an interview about Ranger X. Take it away, guys.
And good morning, everyone. Welcome back to Summer Games Done Quick 2019. I am SpikeVegeta, and I have the pleasure this morning of being joined by Dagron. Good morning. How you doing, dude?
I'm doing good.
Are you a morning person at all? Because we're forcing you into the slot.
Not really, but I can adjust my schedule accordingly.
Okay, thank you for being honest about that, because I am not a morning person either. But here we are again, bringing you speedruns 24/7 here at Summer Games Done Quick, coming to you from Bloomington, Minnesota. Now, Dagger, you got a run coming up in a little bit. We got Ranger X. But I first want to talk about last night. I had to get to bed a little bit early, but right as I'm about to go to sleep, I saw Streets of Rage come up. Had to watch the run. And I'll tell you, if I'm gonna give out an award for the most spirited group here at GDQ, the Genesis crew you guys have is pretty exciting to watch. You guys will get hype over absolutely anything. What is it like being a part of that community?
It's quite special. It's quite special. We kind of have built quite a tight-knit community around the Planet Chaos crew, and we're all kind of like one big family in that regard.
Absolutely, yeah. It looks like a fun group of people to hang out with. So I want to talk a little bit about Ranger X. I was doing some research, obviously, for this interview, as you do. And I was watching the run, and I said, man, first of all, this game looks awesome. You guys should all tune in for the run here in just a couple runs by him. It also looked possibly impossible to actually move your mech optimally through the game. Do you find that's the hardest aspect of running this game, or do you think it's combat optimization, boss fights? What do you think is the hardest part?
Well, I mean, moving the mech itself can be a little bit awkward. Like, you don't really have a jump function. You have to press up to initiate the jump. But I think the part that actually is the hardest part to optimize with the movement is being able to control you as the mech and the vehicle itself up separate of one another. And you have that option. Like, that's kind of why the front of the box recommends you use the 6-button controller.
Okay. Yeah, I was imagining doing all of what was happening on screen with 3 buttons. I said, I don't think this could work.
You can't do it. It's hard to pull off some of that stuff.
I had the pleasure of also this past GDQ getting to watch your Mega Turrican run. Great run there by you. And I was impressed by your ability to just give your commentary so well. That I feel like watching your streams, you're very focused, you're in RTA attempts. And then you come here and it's seamless how you inject the commentary into it. Do you find that just comes naturally to you? Do you prep yourself for it at all?
I mean, usually when I do runs, like I want to just make sure I think the biggest worry I have going into any sort of marathon run is just making sure I have a good performance. Then the commentary comes naturally. There's some things obviously my head will just go blank on, and I forget to actually talk about it or something like that. I'll just have a brain fart or something.
I know that.
But we all have moments like that, it comes naturally.
Yeah, well, you do a great job of it. Definitely looking forward to this run. I also just want to give a recommendation for anyone who might have missed that run. Again, impromptu, I got to host during the Genesis block. Saw some great runs there, like Vector Man and your run of Mega Turrican. You had a lovely story that you got to tell everyone for after that run. I'll let you guys go watch it. But for this year, for this run, do you find you're playing for anything in particular you're wanting this run to dedicate to or anything?
Well, yesterday I did a little bit of practice, and I spent no time at all practicing easy because, I spent all that time on heavy difficulty because, that's the difficulty where, there is a risk of a game over, and game overs are very bad in this game. Yeah. Easy in comparison. The general stats are sort of the same in retrospect, but there's a lot less danger of me losing a whole bunch of lives, me getting a game over,
Sure. Yeah, definitely make sure you guys get in your donations. I believe we need to get to $3,000 to get that from the easy difficulty to the heavy difficulty. Do not make it easy for this man over here. We need to make it as hard as possible. So I believe we still need around $2,000 for that. So you guys got a couple runs, but I know the GDQ audience, I know we can get that in for them. I also just want to ask you again, I feel like the Genesis community really sticks together. You guys play a lot of different games within this library. Kind of really, I've always said a library with a lot of untapped potential. 40 or 50 amazing speed games in here. If you were to pick up a next Genesis game as a speedrun, what do you think it would be?
Well, in fact, interestingly enough, I've had some conversations with some people actually at this event, giving their own recommendations, and people all the time actually come up in my channel and recommend me all sorts of different games. I know Pancakes has recommended me eSWAT. I ran into Butters earlier. He recommended Dynamite Heady.
Heck yeah, dude.
Actually, oddly enough, the game I'm interested in picking up, and call me a masochist for this one, Comic Zone.
You're a masochist.
Yeah, exactly.
That is one of the hardest video games I have ever played. I don't even know how you play. I remember Mecha Richter doing a couple of runs of that up here on stage. So I look forward to your performance of that in the future. One final question, I was at this past E3, got to play a little bit of the Genesis Mini. It looks like an absolutely stacked lineup. Do you feel like that has the possibility of bringing any other runners into the Genesis community?
I would hope so. but you never really can tell. I mean, it's been pretty slow going, you know, trying to build up on the community. It's getting there, but I mean, obviously, you know, beyond the really popular Sonic series, it hasn't quite formulated. In fact, with regards to Ranger X, for example, the record that I had taken from, it belonged to Sean Cass, and he held that record for 5 years. Wow. 5 years. So, you know, Ranger X is just one game out of many in the Genesis library that's just hasn't not quite gotten the same level of attention that one would expect from quite a legendary console of its stature.
Absolutely. Do you guys have a Discord or anything that you would, kind of a #1 Discord you would recommend to people to come to try to get into this community?
Yeah, I mean, there's of course my my team's Discord, Planet Chaos, but as far as centralized sort of Sega stuff, there is Blast the Process. They have a Discord as well. And I believe, I heard that. I heard that in the crowd. And I'm trying to remember what the name of the other one is. I think there was some people that were working on a different one. I wish I could remember the name of it off the top of my head, but I can't.
Maybe we can remember by the time we get up there for Ranger X in a few runs. We can do a little bit of research. But again, Dagran, it is a pleasure to get to interview you here. Again, guys, do not make it easy for this man. We need to get it to the heavy difficulty. You got a couple more runs to get in those donations. Get Ranger X up there. Again, best of luck, my dude. And hope you guys enjoy Contra 3, The Alien Wars, coming up right now.
That's right. You heard SpikeVegeta and Dagran mention that Ranger X heavy difficulty incentive, $3,000. What we need to make Dagran's morning a little bit more difficult right now. It's a little more than $800. We got time. We got a few more runs left. We'll see if we can get that made and step it up to heavy difficulty.